If you let perfectionism stop you from creating, that's not something to be proud of. It's because you're running a program that you're not enough. So allow me to invite you to just drop the perfectionism and don't get good, just get done. And good will come as you learn and as you skill up and as you grow. Hey there, prosperity seeker. Welcome to the Prosperity Approach. I'm your host, Allyson Chavez. I'm really excited that you've joined me today. But first, if you are listening to the audio version of this episode, be sure that you're following the podcast on your favorite app. And if you're happen to be watching this on YouTube right now, be sure to click that red subscribe button below and the notification bell so you get notified every time a new video is released. And if you want to see what we're up to, head on over to AllysonChavez.com. You can take a look at our free prosperity guide. You can sign up for our free online experiences and look at all the different goodies and resources we have for you there. So today I want to talk about a topic that has been a source of contention for me, and I think for a lot of women and people really in general for a long, long time. Now, lest you think that I'm going to talk about religion or politics or anything controversial, it's much deeper than that. It's this whole idea of enoughness, right? When am I going to be enough? Is this enough? And I see this everywhere I go, but most particularly in women. We run this program of I'm not good enough or I'm not enough, and it shows up in various ways. Though I think the most noble way that it shows up is in perfectionism, and I just can't do it unless it is done right the first time, and I'm a big perfectionist, but you're never getting anything done, all on the altar of your perfectionism, which is just like a noble way to say, I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't think that I'm good enough. And what we do is what a mentor of mine years ago would call power leaks, right? So we're looking for somebody to validate us. We're looking for somebody to tell us we're enough. We're looking for somebody to tell us you've got what it takes. And I did this for years and years. Growing up in my home, I was kind of like a performing pony, right? So if I was doing really well with my school, with grades, I was in theater. I was in musical theater and had all the solos all through high school, and I did it in college. And anytime I was on stage, then, I got lots of accolades and my parents were really happy. And, they're like, that's my daughter. And then when things weren't going quite so well, then there was a whole different story. And I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here at all. My parents are fantastic people, and I'm not here to villainize anyone. But what I learned to perform for approval and for enough-ness. And I was always looking for somebody else to tell me that I had what it took. And it blessed me. It served me for a long, long time. I got very ambitious. I would set high goals and I'd be really motivated. And it really was a blessing in my life. And so all the programs that we run in our subconscious are here to help us. They're here to bless us, whether it's to keep us safe or to actually move us forward. But then we reach a point where they just don't help us any longer. And it's especially when we're trying to make big leaps in our life, or we're wanting to start a business, or we have this really big project. But if we're running this program of I'm not good enough and I need to wait and someday I'll be good enough, then it will never happen. We won't allow ourselves to take that step because we'll be terrified that we'll make a mistake. We're terrified to hurt others' feelings or to offend them. That kept me shut up for a long, long time. It shows up as people pleasing and like all of this stuff. And it got me as an adult and as a highly ambitious, very motivated female entrepreneur. It was actually what drove us into a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, because I would hire all of these mentors so that they would make me enough. So that they would say, who's going to be my star student or something like that. And I'm like, me! Pick me. Or, she talks about people who get enormous results. And I'm like, that's going to be me. And I'm going to be your favorite. And, all of that. And so I was bringing just disempowered feminine energy, little girl energy. And I was handing my power over to mentors and over to anybody outside of me. For a long time, I handed it over to clients. We handed it to our spouses. We definitely hand it to our children, that feeling of enoughness. And am I doing a good job? And that's not to say that we can't ask for for feedback because there's always going to be room for improvement. So don't misunderstand this. When now that I've got my enoughness fully intact, then I can look for ways to improve myself, my marriage, my health, the way that I serve my clients, like all the things that I do. I'm like, okay, I'm looking for feedback because I really want to improve. But before then, I didn't want to hear any feedback at all because then it meant I was a failure, which means I'm not enough, which means I haven't worked hard enough, which means I don't deserve it, which means I'm not worthy, which means nobody loves me, which means I'm abandoned and I'm all alone. Like, do you see where this unravels to? It unravels to abandonment and all on your own, and you're not lovable. It is such a destructive program to run. And it's interesting because you'll always find somebody who will tell you you're enough if you pay a high enough price, right? I would hire mentors, and I had some fabulous mentors along the way. So this really is the exception, but there are people out there that will definitely take advantage of you running programs of not being enough. And I specifically remember being in like this 5-day training about how to really show up on stage and be a really great presenter. And they were like, okay, you're going to have 7 minutes to come up with a presentation. You're going to present it in front of like this small group of people, but our leaders are going to be walking around to see how you do, to see who's going to be the next person we work with and get you on our stages, right? And so I'm like in this pick me energy, right? Like, I know I can do this. I'm a good performer. I love being on stage. But I wasn't in that kind of an energy with like, I got this. I'm in certainty. Of course you're going to Of course, I'm a perfect fit for your program. I did it with this pick me energy. Tell me you see something in me because I don't know that it's in me and I hope that it is, but I don't trust that it is. And maybe if you see it in me, then I will see it in me. And that's where it gets really dangerous, really, really fast. In my case, it definitely added to the financial downfall that we had. And it's such an enormous blessing because I realized, holy cow, I created this. Look at the belief that I ran, and your reality and your results will always match the beliefs that you run. And like I said, across the board, people run this belief that I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I have to keep doing more. It's why we're in this constant push. And when I realized, dang, I attracted predatory people into my life because of this program. That's a really, really powerful program. And I was always waiting for the day that I was enough, right? When I would arrive and be enough. And it dawned on me one day that day comes when I say I'm enough. Nobody is going to give my enoughness to me. And I have been looking outside myself my whole life for people to tell me that I was enough, to be that star, to have that star quality. BTS has this song. My daughter loves BTS. And they said, one of the lyrics in their songs goes, I have that superstar glow, right? And I'm like, oh, I want that. Do I have that superstar glow? Well, if you claim it and you own it, then you have that superstar glow. But when you're looking for somebody to discover you, it will never be enough for you. You're not looking for validation outside yourself. Not if you really want to live a powerful life. Not if you really want to live your truth and speak your truth and show up the way you're meant to show up in all of your uniqueness and in all of the energy that is divinely yours. You can't be waiting for anybody else to tell you that you're enough. Because if you run a program that you're not good enough, it won't matter how many people adore you. It won't matter how many people love you and stroke your ego and validate you and tell you how brilliant you are and what a genius you are, because in your mind, you'll be thinking things like, yeah, but if you knew who I really was, you wouldn't even want to be around me. Yeah, but I could have done this so much better. Look around at entertainers who have destroyed themselves out of not enoughness. Look at Michael Jackson. Look at Robin Williams. Like, they were loved and revered worldwide. And Robin Williams takes his own life. Like, Michael Jackson was always trying to get his father's affection, trying to get somebody's affection to tell him that he was enough. And it runs a really, really destructive program. And it will sabotage everything that you're after because you won't receive it. If you're looking for somebody else to tell you you've got it, you will not receive it. And it was so interesting because I'm still playing with this. Like, I'm pretty well dialed in on my enoughness. And let me tell you what happens when you decide, like, it's so easy to do this. You just decide that you're already enough. You decide that you're powerful enough to create any reality you desire, and you commit to that decision. You just commit to you're already enough. Yes, in all your flaws, in all your yeah buts, in all of your inexperience, in all of the mistakes that you have made, you are still enough. If you decide you are enough to create whatever reality you desire, and you just commit to that, and you decide that, and you keep running that, really miraculous things happen. First and foremost, you let go of this whole nonsense about perfectionism. This whole, like, I can't put it out there because it's not good enough. Like, you start running the mantra that don't get good, get done. And then you get done because then you know that you'll get good along the way. Like, I know people that will just freeze at the idea of putting a program out there or even posting something or anything that they've created. They can't hit the submit button, like not even the submit button. They can't even get their hands on the keyboard to write anything. Because what if it's not good enough? I wrote a best-selling book from don't get good, get done. I just needed to get the crap on the paper. And I knew, like, I would start some of my chapters in the prosperity approach. When I was writing that book, I would literally start some chapters with, I have no idea what to write. This is crap. Like, I would start that, but I needed to just get started. And I would write, don't get good, get done. Don't get good, get done. What do I want to talk about in this chapter? Maybe I want to talk about angels. I mean, I can break down my whole book writing process for you, but it was written based on the premise of don't get good, get done. Just get something out there because now we have something to work with. And then we'll get good, we'll revise, we'll tweak along the way. And so perfectionism is not a thing anymore. And by the way, that's really not a badge to wear. If you let perfectionism stop you from creating, that's not something to be proud of. It's because you're running a program that you're not enough. So allow me to invite you to just drop the perfectionism and don't get good, just get done. And good will come as you learn and as you skill up and as you grow. When you start running the program of I am enough, and because you say so and you own it, you allow yourself to make mistakes. Because you know that even if it comes out clumsy and awkward and messy, which it will, you're okay because you're enough. You can clean it up. Pencils have erasers. We got the backspace button. You can ask for a do-over in a conversation if stuff came out of your mouth that probably needed to be phrased better, right? Like, we can own that. But when you run this program of I'm enough, then you allow yourself to make mistakes. You also allow yourself to take risks. Because you know, at the end of the day, if this doesn't work, I'm enough. I'm powerful enough to create any reality I desire. So if this thing doesn't work, all it means is that the plan wasn't as sound as I thought it was. So some parts worked, some parts didn't. I mean, with anything that fails, there was at least something that worked. All right. I don't care what it is. The fact that you showed up and you tried it, that worked. All right. So claim that as the win that it is. When you have failures and you fail your way to success. So just so you know, I have had so many more failures than I have had successes, but I just keep on showing back up and tweaking and celebrating what worked and celebrating the fact that we did it. And then I was like, all right, now where do we get to tweak? What do we get to keep? What do we get to kick? What needs to be tweaked? How can we make this even more powerful? How can we make this even better for the next time that we do it? But if you run a program of I'm not enough and something fails, then it's an attack on your own moral code. It's an attack on your own character. It's an attack on you personally. And you end up living this really, really tiny boxed in life, bracing against any sort of form of feedback because it means you're not loved. It means you're not safe. It means that the people don't like you and you're not lovable. Like, it just leads to you just give feedback so many meanings that don't serve you and they don't help you and they don't move you forward. When all you need to do is just shift it. You just decide you're enough. You're enough exactly as you are, and you'll learn and grow, and you'll keep showing up and you'll keep skilling up, and things will work out for you because you're enough. And you'll apologize when you need to apologize. You'll take responsibility for your part of any sort of failure, but you're not going to blame yourself. You're not going to now victimize yourself. You're just going to own it, and then you're going to fix it and you're going to move on. You will release so much pressure when you stop looking for somebody to tell you you're the star and you claim yourself as the star. So, like I said a few minutes ago, I'm still a work in progress with this, but I'm so much better than I used to be. And I noticed that some of that insecurity was triggered in me in a Michael Bublé concert that my husband and I went to just a little while ago. And it was glorious. It was so much fun. We had seats right on the floor next to the stage. I could make eye contact with the man. It was magnificent. And he was talking to the audience about himself. And it was really fun. He was like, "This is my favorite part of the show. It's when I talk about myself." And he said when he was little, he knew from the time he was like 6 that he was meant for this. He said, "I knew there was something different about me. I knew I was destined for something greater." And it triggered insecurity in me because I was like, I don't remember being 6 or 12 or 25 thinking I'm meant for something more. There's something different about me. I did feel that there was something different about me, but it was probably because I just felt awkward all the time. And I didn't know where I fit in because I wouldn't claim that I fit in anywhere. And so I was like, oh, this is really interesting because I haven't felt that, but I know that I want to create massive global impact for good. I am here and my mission is to end the struggle and bring joy to the lives of millions of women and therefore families across the globe. That's a big mission, but I don't ever remember thinking I'm here for something big like that. And so I started questioning my right. I never felt that. So can I actually do that? It was very curious. It was very curious where my mind went. And then I went to another conference, a business conference, and there was a woman on there who was like, I knew from the time I was little, I was born for great things. Princess Diana said that as well. Before she met Charles, she in her biography or somewhere, she has said that she knew she was meant for big, big things. And I never felt that. And so I kind of disqualified myself from that superstar glow for a while. Now, I'm not here, after fame. I'm not here after fortune. I am here for a wealthy lifestyle and to live in prosperity and to create prosperity and show others how to do that. But being on the cover of a magazine, I don't really care about that. I don't, that's not important to me. But I started disqualifying myself because I realized, oh my gosh, I got some residual of this program of I'm not enough. And I'm looking for others to find a superstar in me. I forgot that I get to claim that. And even if you don't want to claim your own superstar, you definitely claim your own enoughness in every part of your life. Claim your enoughness and just own that. So this other woman says, she knew she was destined for great things and she's done big things in the online space. And so I really wanted to ask, I've never really felt that. Can I do that? I found myself wanting to ask an absolute stranger who had done really great things if she would give me permission to do great things as well. That's insanity. I'm a grown-ass woman. Holy cow. And I'm asking somebody, she has no idea my background. I really have no idea her background, but because she's successful and she makes a lot of money, she's qualified to give me permission to be enough. Look at how we do this. We look at our spouse and we ask for permission to be enough. We look at our children and ask for permission to be enough. And so I thought, dang, I caught myself in that pretty quickly. I mean, faster than I would have in the past. It probably took me a day or two, quite honestly, to realize that's what I was doing. I was just I was leaking out my power to somebody else who didn't know me. It's like she wasn't even qualified to give me permission, and she doesn't need to give me permission. But when I caught that, and then I just needed to claim that for myself, something really interesting happened. I was in a room, and this was an amazing business conference. We had 7-figure, 8-figure earners all in this room that were both being taught and teaching. And like, it was a really cool room to be part of. Not because they were making so much money, although that was really cool, but they're making such a positive difference in the whole world. Like, their mission is so much bigger than they are, and they want to change the world in various ways, and all for good. So it was heart-centered and it was purpose-driven. It wasn't just about rake in all of the cash, right? So I'm sitting at a table. There's just a couple of us at the table, and another woman brings somebody else over, and she's doing introductions. So there's 4 of us total at the table. And she said, "You need to meet these women. They are powerhouses." Now, I was not one of the women she had pointed to. And I said, "I'm pretty sure that every one of us at this table are powerhouses." And 2 years ago, there's no way I would have said that and claimed that I was a powerhouse. You get to claim that you're a powerhouse. Don't wait for anybody else to give you permission to be great, and to stand in your imperfect perfection exactly as you are, and to create the life that you desire on your terms because you say so, and because you are powerful enough to have the relationship you desire. You are powerful enough to have the money come in the way that you desire, and to live in financial flexibility and financial relaxation on a daily basis. You are powerful enough to have a deeply personal, richly satisfying relationship with God. You are powerful enough to have the health and the body and the weight and the size that you desire. You are powerful enough to create any reality you desire. And you can do it with fun. You can do it with play. You can do it with pleasure. As women, we're divinely designed to create that way. But ain't nobody gonna give you permission. Ain't nobody gonna give you your enoughness. I can't give you your enoughness. Only you can give you your enoughness. And we're gonna circle back around. How do you do it? You decide that you're enough. And you commit to that decision. And then you start running your decisions through the filter of, if I'm enough and I know I am, do I take this opportunity? Having never done it before and knowing that it could be a colossal quote unquote failure? Yeah, because I'm going to learn some really great things, and I'm going to meet some really fun people, and I'm going to skill up in ways that I know and ways that I don't know. And it's only for my good, and only good will come of this, regardless of the immediate outcome. That's the power of claiming and owning your enoughness. And that's where it starts. And then it opens you up to miracles beyond your imagination. Now, if you like this conversation, you want to go deeper with me, and you want to learn, all right, how do I create with play and pleasure and downtime and minus the guilt? And how do I actually get money to come in and serve me so that I'm in financial relaxation? How do I lead with feminine energy? How do I let masculine energy support that? What does that even mean? And what does that even look like? And oh my goodness, I'm tired. Well, guess what? We got coming at you. A free 3-day online retreat. I'm going to teach you the nuts and bolts of all of that. It's called the Prosperity Experience, Success Without Struggle. And it's 100% free. Now, why do you want to be here? Because you're going to get live, ongoing coaching from me for 3 days. You're also going to get your very own playbook, because remember, I don't care about prosperity theory. I want to know how this will change my life. How do I use this to change my life? So I am about boots on the ground strategies that will lead you to a prosperous life in every cornerstone of your life that's important to you. So come join me with that. You're going to get your own playbook so you can anchor that in So you're no longer frustrated because you know, but you still don't know how. I'm going to show you how. We're going to help you close those gaps. You're going to get your very own success expert through this entire online retreat. And they're going to walk you through this, and they're going to help you implement it. They're going to show you where your gaps are and help you to close those gaps. They're going to help you to be accountable to that higher version of you, to your desires, so that you will start taking a stand for your desires rather than fighting for your limitations all the time and giving all the reasons why you're not enough yet. That's garbage. That was so last Tuesday. Come join us. Come learn how to lead with the feminine, how to let the masculine support, learn about money, learn about the right state of mind you must live in. Let's connect you to your divine superpower. You already have it. You just don't know how to tap into it yet. We're going to show you how to do that. You're going to get more goodies, more resources, support along the way, and it's all live and it's all free. So come join us. Go to prosperityapproach.com/challenge and get yourself registered for that, and we will handle the rest. We just want you to show up so we can show you how easy and simple it can be to skill up and making little tweaks that lead to phenomenal results. Come play with us over there in the Prosperity Experience. Come join us for the free 3-day online retreat. And until next time, remember, prosperity becomes you.